Hey, Gabriel Blake.
Hey, Gabriel Jose.
Where are we today?
We are in Potrero Hill in San Francisco at a lovely little, I don't know if you call it a dive bar, it's more of a sports bar.
Yeah.
Called Yankee. Or is it The Yankee?
I don't know. You tell me. I didn't really pay attention to the name. It was open. That was enough criteria for me.
That was our standard.
Yep, it's open and they give alcohol. And what did we watch today?
We watched the 1995 classic.
Yep. Timeless classic.
Hackers.
Oh, it's like
Starring some other people and Angelina Jolie.
Oh, it's also the guy from Trainspotting. The blonde guy is actually from Trainspotting, that I don't remember his name.
Oh my god, I was thinking the whole time, who is that? Where else do I know him from?
And I only know that because the first time that I watched this movie, I was in college, and a friend of mine that he was in love with Trainspotting, and we watched it like a couple of times, getting high and watching the movie. He saw me Hackers, and he told me that, let's see if you actually recognize the actor. And when the actor just was on the screen on the plane the first time, I was like, that's a guy from Trainspotting. He said, oh, he was impressed. Like, that was like the only time that I impressed someone recognizing
an actor.
Yeah.
And then he never had a career.
No, he did. He's just checking out because he's
Johnny Lee Miller is his name.
Yeah. He has like this show on CBS. I mean, maybe he didn't remain as high cachet kind of actor, but he actually kept acting. He's not like the guys and girls from, the girls from Love.
All right.
Yeah. So, why?
Oh, he was in Trainspotting too.
Yeah, of course.
So, okay, good.
Also, Edward Norton was in there, so...
And he was in 8 episodes of Dexter.
That's true. So, why did you make us watch this?
Because I'm in love with Angelina Jolie.
You can tell it louder.
There was a brief period when I was 14-year-old, and I was torn between thinking I was aroused by the men in the JCPenney catalog in underwear, or Angelina Jolie in Tomb Raider, and I didn't know.
You didn't know better.
And I've loved her ever since, and I've always known about this movie. To me, it seemed like network.
Tell me something now. Did this actually just clear things for you? Hackers?
No, because she looks more like a boy than ever before.
That's true. Yeah, even in Boys Don't Cry, she still is more of a boy in this movie. So it was more like for just completing your catalog of Angelina Jolie movies?
Yeah, I was just checking off. I mean, this is a cult classic, right? It has like a following.
The soundtrack is good.
Explain
Everything else
me
is garbage.
Why people don't watch this in the same way they watch...
Rocky Horror Picture Show?
No, the one about going to the center of the earth.
The Core?
The Core.
The Core is garbage too. It's that people watch this for just making fun of it.
I didn't know it was like a movie people hate watch.
Yeah, I told you.
Well, yeah, you did tell me.
I told you. Now you believe me, no? Now you believe my taste in terrible cinema too.
Yeah,
okay. This was
a giant piece of shit. I felt like quitting this movie more than I felt like quitting the Turin Horse. I was seriously like, no, I'm not watching this.
So we actually did the same thing with the Turin Horse. I made the mistake of just watching a single CD, and I was high, so it just felt forever. I couldn't appreciate the artistic value just by itself, As for example, in Love. In Love, actually, I forgot to mention, when we talk about it, that I watched it in 2 days. Love.
Okay. It's a long movie.
Yeah. It's a long movie, and I think that I was just pretty tired, and I was late, so I fell asleep. I fell asleep. I was more like, okay, I'm ready to go to bed. On this one, I was extremely high, but at the same time, I was laughing out so loud that I was tempted to watch it the next day, because I thought that it would be like waking up the neighbors. There are a couple of scenes that I had forgotten how bad they were.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say about this movie. It was barely coherent.
Oh, I have to actually summarize it.
Yes, please.
You already said your
Please
opinion.
give us a synopsis.
So, this is the story of Zero Cool, a kid from Seattle that he actually got arrested by the FBI or the SWAT, or we don't know, and he goes to a corrective center for a brief period of time, and then he's just condemned to not touching a computer until he's 18 years old.
Because he crashed 1,057 systems.
No, it was 1,507. 1,507.
An awful lot.
Yeah. but it's important the 7. The last 7 is really important because he gets pissed multiple times because people forget about those 7. Those were the more important for him. So this is the story of how they moved to New York, where they don't have a front patio and they don't have a lawn to mow, and he feels like really depressed because of that. That he moves with his his mother,
right?
Yeah, it's Manhattan.
Because that's where poor single mothers move to, is exactly. Manhattan.
Well, she's not poor. Actually, those I see actually works at a bank or something. It looks like she has some kind of high-end job. So that part I felt like at the beginning was like, can they do that? But now, when we actually think about other New York movies that we watched, like the Boys in the Band, I don't remember what's the other one, that they had like a crazy apartment network. They had this crazy apartment in Manhattan. It's like, this woman had a modest apartment. It was the most realistic apartment of all these movies.
That was the one piece that was like, that looks like a New York apartment to me.
Yeah, that's true. But it's like Angelina Jolie's mother is a world-renowned writer, that they don't actually dive too much into that.
Yeah, you just have to guess. Oh, she must have a bad relationship with her mom.
But they never saw it.
No, they don't bother.
Yeah, well, so this is the story of how they uncover. I don't know exactly even how to talk about this. Like a company that they're evil, and the security officer is in cahoots with one of the execs for just stealing money from the company.
What is the plot? Office Space, right? That's the same plot, is that they're going to steal some people in the company, this evil couple, a man and a woman. They want to steal like 2 cents from every transaction, and so much so that they get $25 million. But then one of the hackers, these high school kids, copies the worm.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
And so then the hackers launch
They made up a virus
that can somehow tip oil tankers all across the world.
Yep.
And they're going to frame the hackers.
Yep. So I love that there is a point of a reality check that someone says that is like, so in order to try to frame this kid, you made up a virus that is going to be like tipping boats, and you're going to be like blaming it on him. Isn't that like a bit too convoluted?
To steal $25 million.
Is it $1 million? I even just think $25 million, yeah, it's a lot of money. But it's like, if I think about the standard of 1995, is that what would it be, like $100 million? Is it still for just creating a nature debacle? It sounds like pretty little money.
Like spilling oil all over the world. Yeah, it was just...
Yeah, so the premise basically is that the story is just a premise for just barfing the 90s on your face. Because there's like many scenes that they feel straight from a Nickelodeon show.
It's so bad.
Yep.
It's so bad.
Yeah, I mean, this movie actually made The Lost Boys look amazing.
Yeah, so if you compare it to the things like the contemporaries we've been watching, this is just a steaming pile.
This makes Clueless look like a masterpiece.
Well, Clueless is a masterpiece, so I don't know what you...
I think that we're in completely wavelengths here. But, as if. So, I could say that Clueless tries to appeal to the 90s young adults, I would say. And this tries to appeal to the nerds. But the problem is, I had the feeling that they have a bit more of sensibility and connection to what a young adult would be on the 90s than what the nerds were on the 90s. Yes. Because it's just offensive. As a nerd kid from the 90s, this is offensive.
There's just so many issues I have with this film. Like, there just happen to be 5 world-class hackers in this high school, the same high school class.
They are elites.
The elite. And, I started taking a list of hate things. I mean, it's not even that long, but, like, when they're in this major...
Oh, I thought that you were actually just having their...
No, I have the hate list. It's just,
gotcha. Okay, no, I gotcha. I saw it already. At least there is not a big on that.
So, I guess in that... First off, where were the mice? Where were the mice for computers?
Oh, for trackpads. No, I mean, like, real hackers, they don't use mouse.
Yeah, they just type.
No, I mean, you're going to be like... Look, I know it's going to sound like pretty out there, but it's like you can actually navigate most of the systems without using a mouse.
I don't deny that with commands. Yeah, I get it, but I want you to show me one hacker that doesn't use a mouse.
I mean, I don't know many hackers, but I'm pretty sure that...
You work in computer science. Do you ever use a mouse?
Yeah, but honestly, when I was actually in college, one of the challenges that I had, it was like, I don't want to use a mouse. If I can use, like, just commands for just moving from one window to another, while using the mouse.
Okay, fine.
I won't say that it's normal, that it's the most normal thing, but yeah, you can do it.
So the way the film visualized these hacker battles was in, like, this virtual space of... They weren't skyscrapers. I'm guessing they were, like, servers. I don't think the filmmakers knew they were servers. It was just some sort of, like, animated thing. So they're having a battle with the really bad guy who is, like... He's literally, like, Dr.
What was his name? Mr.
In Austin
Pandemic?
Powers. Dr. Doom? I don't know. He was such a joke as a character.
Oh, yeah.
So
like the 30-song guy that is going with the skater in the office.
Oh, God.
But that's what I said. That like this feels like a Nickelodeon exec trying to appeal the 90s kids.
Like they all run from the police in rollerblades, as if that's a viable source of like transportation.
But they're white, so they didn't get shot.
And so they're losing the battle in this virtual space. And it's like, oh, it looks like the hackers are going to lose until they call in their hacker friends from around the world. And it just has a very brief scene with each hacker in a different country. And, like, the Italians are in this, like, red velvet cave with hacking by candlelight. And I was like, oh, God. And the Russians are drinking vodka.
Yeah, look, there are, like, many things that they are cringe-worthy. But it's that the thing that I would say is, like, it's one of those movies that they actually just flip over that is so good that is bad. But it's like no bad from the perspective that we usually use that word for. It's like I don't think that there is anything artistic to this movie. The only artistic thing is like the soundtrack. But the soundtrack is like someone going to the top 40. I said like, these are good music, let's go with this.
You don't think that it was beautiful when she was floating in the water in garter belts?
I love it, but that's the ending. The ending, when they actually start like just making out, is that they mention something. The kid, he loves his mother. No, he actually respects the mother that he has.
She's a good mother.
Yeah, she's a good mother. She's a cool mother at least. So they joke something about like him jerking off, and he says that he's still a virgin.
Mm-hmm.
That is like that's the reason why I think that this is another one of those things that appeals to nerd kids from the 90s. That is like, he's cool. Sex, I can relate to him, but at the end is that he actually just dismounts international corporation, disaster that was going to happen.
But he doesn't need to have sex.
No, he not. But he ends up having sex with Angelina Jolie in the swimming pool. But what I love is that actually the movie ends up there. The goal was not about just succeeding as a hacker. It was actually just lose his virginity.
So, the last note that I took is there's nothing sexier than underwater kissing, because the final scene, they're just kind of swimming, and they're like floating, except he clearly can't swim. Angelina Jolie is just floating on her back, all natural, and he's like bouncing up and down because he can't keep his head above water.
Sure.
So then, I think because it was difficult for him to swim, they start to kiss, and then they just sink below the water and keep kissing and have sex.
I don't know, man, but it's like probably the first time that I see like the credits rolling exactly at that point when they start kissing. Is that okay? Yeah, now we are here. Is that now we are done with this movie?
And also in the final major hack scene, he puts on something that looks like Google glasses, but they never explain what it is or show what it does.
Do you know a movie? And I think that is from the 90s. That is called The Wizard. That is a Nintendo commercial. It's basically a Nintendo commercial during 90 minutes. I would say they're like... one thing that I like about this movie, it was 90 minutes.
It was, yes.
Just, we don't need more time. And the other part is that this movie actually reminded me of The Wizard. There is like a ton of execs like trying to figure it out what the kids of this age like.
Yes, and obnoxiously the New York Times article basically said... Like, when there were rebel teens in the 60s or 70s, what they did was start bands. If nobody would watch a movie about that. So the director was like, what's counterculture now? What would a rebellious kid do now? I know.
Hack the planet.
And the endless one-liners were so bad.
Well, like just mess with the best, I like the rest.
Oh, and then when It's like in the bank command center where there's just like hackers everywhere. There's a dumb woman in there who can't understand it, and so there's a hacker that's trying
cancer.
Cancer?
Look, it's cringeworthy, but it actually just flip over from the perspective. It's so cringeworthy that you cannot avoid laughing out loud. You didn't laugh at it?
Yeah, a few times I laughed, but I was also angry
that
I spent 90 minutes on this. I reviewed our spreadsheet, and it is without a doubt the second worst film we've ever watched.
What is the worst?
The Room.
Okay,
the
that's
only
fair.
film worse than this is The Room.
But tell me, that's true, that you didn't actually enjoy as much as I did the laughing on it. I mean, I laugh a lot in The Room.
On The Room, yeah.
Would you recommend this movie to anyone?
Never. Not to anybody.
You don't want to be associated with this movie at all.
I guess that's not true. I would probably... I know you like to hate watch The Core, and I've hate watched The Core, and that's a laughable film.
I also hate watch Sunshine. Twice.
Sunshine?
Yeah.
I love watched Sunshine like 10 times.
But you know that you cannot remove the last part.
Sure. I would probably recommend this to someone who's like, oh man, I've seen The Core so many times, I need something new to hate. And they had already seen Showgirls. So, if this person exists, and they're tired of Showgirls, I would recommend.
Look, if you ever find that person, just send him my way, because he had like many other movies that he could actually watch, or see.
I would rewatch Love twice. 3 times before watching this again.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I would rewatch this. Honestly. Yeah. This is like the 3rd or the 4th time that I watch it. But it's like because I love watching movies that they are incidentally funny.
Yeah, and that's something I don't do much.
No, and I completely get it. But for me, it's like that's the reason why I like it. The Room. It's like if I had to give an honest score, I don't think that this movie is good by any stretch of the imagination.
Can we just score it?
Do you want to score it?
I do.
This is straight ahead. What? Should I score first or you go first? I don't remember.
It was your pick, so I think I scored first.
No, this was your pick.
Damn it, sorry.
Don't with me. Mine was Love. So, I would actually give it... How was The Room? The Room was a 2. I would give it a 2.5.
I am going to give it a 1.5, which means it's half a point above what I gave The Room, and half beneath what I gave Celine Dion Goes Boating. I would literally rewatch Celine Dion Goes Boating before watching this.
I love it. I was wondering if you actually checked that.
No, this was. I genuinely feel I scored The Room lower because, from a technical standpoint, it's a worse film.
That's true.
But I hated this more than The Room.
Because The Room had actually heart, and this didn't. It was shot
sure.
in San
Francisco. The Room had something. We'll say it had something. But no, I do love Angelina Jolie, and this doesn't change how I feel about her, but it certainly sheds a new light on her career. I didn't know she had done anything this bad. Tomb Raider, compared to this film, is a masterpiece.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but I would say that it's closer to a 5 than this.
Sure, yes.
Look, I'm sorry. I laughed so much with the movie. It was not only about being high. I think that it was about how come this get to happen. It's that this is like all the bad stereotypes from the 90s just happening together. And it's just 2 years before The Matrix. No? The Matrix from 97 or 99?
99.
Oh, it's just 4 years.
So 4 years. Look at how much film grew.
But I will actually have to tell you, all the hackers depictions are garbage.
Well, you said they had real books.
They had real books. That's the part that I felt like, holy shit, I didn't remember this all the times that I watched. But they start just talking about the Unix system administration and the likes. And the books that they show is that's legit. That's a book that exists. But when they saw the compilers one, it's you probably didn't actually... They mentioned something about dragon. With a dragon. With a dragon.
Dragon?
A dragon, yeah. With a dragon, and it's I remember that book. It's we actually studied that when I was in college. It's a good book. But at the same time, it's I'm pretty sure the hackers don't need to study that book.
Were there elites in your school?
No.
No elites?
Not that good. No, we're not that good.
I did have, when I was 12, 13, I had a book about hacking, but like illegal hacking. And I remember they did have that thing that the 3 most commonly used passwords are God, sex, and love. That was true.
But there were 4, no?
I know, and I couldn't remember the 4th, but I remember God, sex, and love.
Secret.
Could be.
I think they were secret. Yeah. So no, I never heard that. It's like basically the guy was like really surprised because I always thought that it was going to be password and 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh yeah. I remember being really disappointed with that book because it was all very pragmatic hacking. Like, you're not going to be able to break through that firewall, so you need to sit down next to somebody and watch till they type their password in. And I was like, this isn't sexy.
Yeah. At that point, yeah, I can guess it. But yeah. I don't know. I mean, they're like, the thing is that there are like some tidbits of things that they explain, that they present on the movie, that they are real-ish. You know? It's like when the guy says that the kid, that he hacked into a bank, he's like, exactly, just talking about it. He's like, I didn't know exactly what kind of server did I get into. He said, well, probably what they were doing back there is that just looking for the random IPs and just trying to find vulnerabilities that they know. So repeating over and over about, okay, I found this IP, what is this server? Oh, is this? Let's see if they actually have this vulnerability open.
Well, I mean, from a realistic point of view, companies get hacked all the time. Like, our data is constantly leaked. We know this is realistic.
Yeah, because there are vulnerabilities out there. You know, that's how hackers operate. Is that just basically just exploring all the IPs. Well, not exploring all the IPs, but it's like just like going through a exploration of the net and just looking for the specific vulnerabilities that they know that they are out there. That's the reason why system administrators, they need to just patch as soon as possible.
But let me ask you this. Couldn't hackers have benefited from just 30 seconds of dialogue, like just what you just said, instead of, this virus is like a cancer?
Yeah, probably they could. But the thing is, I had the feeling that they went with the minimum denominator about the spectators that they were going to be finding. It's like, I don't know if they were like just, look, if you're aiming to nerd kids that they know something about computers, they're going to be just laughing at this. If you're aiming at adults, they're going to be like laughing at everything that you're presenting here.
So you're the computer expert.
Well,
when they line up at the phone booths at Grand Central Station, and Angelina Jolie tells them, use your best viruses, guys, and they each pull out a floppy disk, is that realistic?
Well, you have to think that, you know, it's like when they, just for summarizing the time that we're talking about, when they go to the house of Angelina Jolie, they talk about the modem that she has. That is a 28.8 megabytes. So just imagine at what point we're talking about. It's not even like 56. Is it just bad? I mean,
56 is where the modem technology got to before we switched to
to just landlines and everything, you know, to DSL and cable network. Yeah. So it's basically how bad technology was there. So it's from that perspective that, actually the guy spends, like, I don't know, like 2 minutes of the movie trying to download this garbage folder that is going to be like just a floppy disk. It's like a floppy disk right now is something that it just downloads in a blink of an eye.
Yeah, I mean, I have 100 megabytes a second at my apartment.
It's 1.4 megabytes, used to be. So it's just think about like how much the technology evolved. From that perspective, I respect a bit the movie. That is that they try to make... Wait. They try to make like a fantasy world, but still respecting what is the reality of the moment.
Okay, I can get on board with that.
Yeah. I'm not saying that it's good.
I really like the touch that each hacker, when they took their best viruses, they took the time to visualize what was happening, like a Pac-Man eating up all the folders while the bank watched.
Oh, yeah.
Or the smiley face with a patch on its eye, but it had fangs and it was eating all the... I was like, those are some thoughtful hackers. They put some design aesthetic...
It's not a disdain hacker. Yeah, but this movie was not good.
So, again, I watched half of this movie last night and was so annoyed I stopped. And then I started to watch it again this morning, and my husband was like, Why are you keeping watching that movie? And I'm like, I have to. I picked it for the podcast.
You did. And I asked you multiple times, are you sure this movie is garbage?
To be fair, though, I was sure. I wanted to see this film. I didn't like this film I'm still glad that I saw it. I feel like I got to know Angie a little bit better.
No, that's true. Yeah. That's true. You understand her early ages.
How old was she in this movie? Because she physically has changed a lot.
Yeah, like probably, I don't know, 19, 20. Yeah, I mean, I had also I find like pretty hilarious that depending on the actor is that you could say that okay, those are kids, those are like 16, 17-year-old kids, and then it's like no, these guys are like 25.
Yeah, they're not high schoolers.
Yeah, certainly.
Well, in Clueless, Dion, Cher's best friend, she was like 38 in that movie.
How old was Silverstone?
I think she was early 20s. Everyone was early 20s, and she was much older. And now, yeah, she's a Republican on Fox News.
What's it? Oh, she's a reporter in Fox News?
Yes. I know. Can't talk about it. I can't ruin my memory of Clueless.
Yeah.
So, to sum up, Hackers is a piece of shit, and I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. You would hate watch it again.
I will hate watch it again. I would recommend it to other people. I'm never going to be forgetting many things of this movie because I watched it like too many times.
Also, I just want to touch on the actor Matthew Lillard and how spectacularly bad he was and how...
Oh, was he?
How could he possibly have a career in the 90s?
Wait, is the guy the bad guy?
No. He's the...
Oh, the serial guy?
Serial killer, yeah.
God, the guy was terrible in the movie.
He starred in a movie called SLC Punk, which was like a punk kid in SLC. And
what is SLC?
Salt Lake City, sorry.
Oh, good.
So it takes place in Salt Lake City, and he's like bucking against the patriarchy of Mormonism, and I just hate him.
Did you actually see some kind of correlation on the aesthetics from this movie to Matrix?
I can definitely see it as a precursor. All those visualizations of data, which they had not perfected, but I'm certain that they borrowed from them with the like worlds that were made up of zeros and ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. The Matrix just, had talented people working on the film.
Yep. No, that's true. I always think that it was more like just lucky people working on the film because the Wachowski sisters are not my cup of tea.
Brings up an interesting social question. Do you call them brothers when they identified as brothers?
They identify as brothers. They call themselves the Wachowski brothers. And now they're like, both of them, they're like just transgender. Yeah. So they're sisters. So it's like at this point, it's a bit more like when they directed this movie, they were the Wachowski brothers. But now they're Wachowski sisters.
Yep. So. Well, you're welcome for picking this.
Holy shit, man. I mean, I'm pretty happy that you actually gave it a serious score. I was wondering, is he going to try to defend it?
No, but we are going to watch Tomb Raider 1 and 2 over the next month, so those might be superficially inflated.
Okay, man. Okay, it's your call.
What are we watching next week?
So, next week, I mean, it's something that I sound like just back to talk to random people, and they, like, in the distance, is like from time to time the name of John Waters comes up. And it's like I always think about John Waters only from Alright, well, yeah, I mean, I think that they actually just need some people that they need to do that. Other people need to do hackers. So, the only movie that I watched from John Waters, it was Pink Flamingos. That is the infamous movie that ends up with Divine eating dog poop.
I was thinking about this movie while we watched Love, actually. I haven't seen it. Because I think he fits into this group of provocateurs.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I haven't seen anything by him. But I watch a lot of like actors on actors by like Variety.
The ship supervisor was a girl. She was the one.
Since the quarantine, I've been watching a lot of content about actors speaking about their work, and I've been blown away at the number of actors who say that John Waters' films are the things that made them want to be comedians or belong in films, so I'm excited to see something by him.
Yeah, so, I mean, I know that I watched also Killer Mom, is called? Or Serial Mom. Like the mother is a serial killer.
I saw that as a child.
That's from John Waters.
Ah.
Yeah. At that point, I think that he was a bit more like calmed down, so it's not as crass. But I think the hairspray is like something that people still like just feel a bit infuriated. And so people love the musical, or they watch the original John Waters movies and they hate the musical.
Well, I can't wait to figure it out.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to watch. Hairspray.
Sounds good. Not Pink Flamingo?
Nope. I mean, if you want to watch it, you can watch it. It's just feel free. It's a free country, you know.
The freest.
No, the freest. The freest of the freest, and that's the reason why we are not wearing masks right now while we're drinking.
Yep. In public.
Yep. So, that's going to be it. Hairspray.
Well, until next time.
Until next time, man. Thank you so much for listening.
Wash your hands a little bit more.
A little bit more now. Okay. Bye.